Hello, J Factor team. It's Deborah Gordon, Ruby Director, coming to you from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And welcome to our call tonight. It's June 26th, and we've had a beautiful day here. It's summer here, and just wanted to touch base with everyone tonight about a couple different areas of our business that might give you some pointers on certain things. One, for example, is social media. I also have Bev Olawa joining me, so we're going to do the Bev and Deb show tonight. We haven't done it for a while.
It's been a while.
So welcome, Bev. Thank you for joining me tonight. You know, Bev and I have worked together for many years, not only in Jeunesse, but in our prior company. So we kind of know each other, but just so well that we can go back and forth about so many things and almost know what each other's thinking. So hopefully we can give you some great ideas for your business tonight. It is summer, but again, you have to stay focused, because whatever you cultivate now is going to show up 3 months from now, which will be like September. So you want to make sure that when September hits, you still have your business up and running and at a great pace. So keep doing those activities daily and treat it as, the old rule is treat it like it's $1 million business, and it becomes $1 million business. So, okay, so social media. I know so many people, it's a new avenue. This avenue was not around when I first started in this industry almost 20 years ago. All we had was the old-fashioned person-to-person or party, putting together a party and introducing products. So social media, of course, has been around, quite a few years already, but there's still many that struggle with what the do's and don'ts are and how to create that interest. And what you're basically wanting to do is lock into the attraction marketing. So interestingly enough, I was at a training that Eric Worre did. This is one of many that I've been to, and he's one of the, I'm so grateful for him and Marina starting kind of a professional university for network marketers that's not any particularly, doesn't promote any product in particular. He's just there to promote the skills of network marketing. So if you ever have a chance to get in on one of his events, he has 2 or 3 events a year. I would highly recommend that you get to them. The information is so invaluable to your business, and he covers so many areas and has so many great professionals that have been very successful in this industry speaking. And so this particular one that I was at was actually the most powerful women in network marketing. And they had a panel that they call the Rising Stars panel. And this is the millennial generation. So it's the younger generation who probably are the people that use the social media most in today's age. Obviously there's all age groups that use it, but I think the millennials are the ones that grew up in it. And so it was very interesting to get some tips from them. And they were all very successful in their network marketing business at a very early age, in their 20s. I'm just going to go through some of the tips they gave us at that event, and then I'm going to have Bev kind of put some input into how we have been using these tips as well, because Bev's very good on the social media end of things as well, and she's very conscious of how she portrays herself in social media. So the number one tip these millennials had was, you have to love on them. And what that means is that you just want to make sure that you get to know people through your social media avenues, that you're not talking business to them. You're just trying to get to know more and more people through the avenues of social media. So whether that be, joining different groups on say Facebook, or now of course there's so many others. There's Snapchat, and there's Instagram, and they're all growing like crazy. And but you really want to get to know people first before you even start to think about talking about business, and just expand your friends list as much as you can. Try to talk to 10 new people per day. That is what these millennials recommended, and that could be done in many different ways. And Bev, if I could go to you for a minute, do you use some sort of method to add people to your network?
I sure do, Deb. And there's a couple things that I do, and it'll fall under that love on them category. I just don't like a comment. I will post a comment in, if there's somebody that's put something on there that I like, I will actually make a post. That looks fabulous. You look great. That looks amazing. Or someone's got beautiful flowers. I'll ask them what it is. And then a lot of times a conversation will ensue. And then from that, I'll have then because we've kind of met on mutual ground, whether it be flowers or puppies or football or art or whatever, we're having a discussion, and then while we're having that discussion, I'll add them in as a friend request. And because we're talking right then and there, they'll add me in, type of stuff. So I think that's one of the biggest tips that I can say is don't just like a post. And even the sharing of a post, if someone has something that I really like and it's like, that's a cool post, I love it, number one, I'll comment on their post and say, oh my gosh, I could totally relate to that. Hashtag truth is another thing I use a lot, type of stuff. And I'm so stealing this. I'm doing R&D, rip off and duplicate type of stuff. But then when I share the post, I just don't share the post. I'll say, thanks so much, Rita, for sharing this. Absolutely love it. And then I'll say why I'm liking it as well too. So by doing that, number one, you're getting people a little bit more interested in the post that you have. Plus you're giving a little bit of an insight as to who you are and what you are and why do you like it. And it gives some opportunities to engage in a post. Lots of times I'll even do, I especially like this comment, and I'll just kind of paraphrase it just a little bit. And it'll entice them to watch the whole post and get engaged in that conversation. I did a post. I did a post it's about a week ago, and it was probably the best responses I've ever had on a post. And you didn't get caught in it, Deb, but I did a math quiz one. It was like
I saw that one, yeah.
Do you realize on that one, I wrote the numbers down. It was like 591 comments, 16 shares. People commented on that post that I had no idea were watching me. Okay. And so when someone shared it, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're going to have some fun with this type of stuff. So, and some of them were some pretty big names. I was like, whoo, that person shared it. That's pretty cool. So I commented on his page, and then inside of his post on his page, there was, okay, Beverly said that you have to do this or you have to do that, So really, I got involved in a lot of conversations about math. Like it was about math. And the funniest thing was too, Stephen commented on that one. And he's like, Bev, I feel like you just told me the world is flat. And we had the best conversation about it, type of stuff. But I had people from Australia, from the UK, from the Philippines, from Thailand, and from India, and from all over Canada comment on that post. So talk about exposure. And then once people got the answer right, I would personal message them and say, hey, you got it right. How are you doing? Not a thing about Jeunesse, not a thing about anything, just a conversation. It was fabulous. I was astounded at the reach that post got. So a good little tip there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the key is when you get that type of response, to make sure you're on top of it right away too, right? Mm-hmm. Because you never know which one's just going to fly, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that brings us to point number 2 that these millennial rising stars gave us, is that just pick 5 things that you love. 4 personal things and 1 business, and rotate posts. So for example, they gave, 5 as an example. Number 1, health and wellness. Number 2, working with others as an entrepreneur. Number 3, travel. Number 4, food. And number 5, business network marketing. So, like you say, Deb's not an expert in math.
Well, I used to be good in math in my high school days.
But you come across some of these posts and they're fascinating, and people love to try and solve puzzles too, right? But I do know, I believe from what I've seen on social media so far is that some of the big ones are food, or a little bit of a puzzle or something like that, or travel seems to be pretty big too. Would you agree on that, Beth?
Absolutely, travel. Absolutely. Yeah. And especially if you're having the opportunity to travel, I think it's important in those likes and all of those things, it needs to be something that you're comfortable with, because then it's authentic. I mean, I'm a huge football fan, so I'm involved a lot on the sports sites, but I can have an intelligent conversation. I'll go onto the Edmonton Eskimo Empire page and I comment on there a lot. But it's because I'm watching the football game, and I can actually engage in a conversation because I know something about it, right? And so that would be one of my tips as well too, is to find groups that you are comfortable with, that are authentic to who you are, and actually engage in conversations in them. Don't just don't like a post. Just if someone says something, oh, Mike Riley is, he's a turkey and he's not the best football player out there, and I'm like, well, of course he's a warrior, and stuff, and so I'll talk about stuff in there, and so I've actually gathered friends by that as well too, because we've been engaged in conversations. They recognize my name because I'm a contributor in that group often, and so when I do send the friend request, and of course, when you can get one brand new friend request out of a group that you have nobody in common with, that's a massive lead. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great tip. And it's funny how you see, we're such a good pair. You're leading me right into the next number.
This wasn't rehearsed. This is all off the cuff, you guys.
We never rehearse. That's it for sure. It's basically this is what we're talking about. And it's just the subject, and so then we go from there. But so what you touched on is exactly what the third tip they gave us was about branding yourself. So again, branding yourself is creating a personality that people can identify with. And so if they start seeing parts of your personality, it's similar to what they're interested in, you're then creating that attraction, right?
Yeah.
And you need to be vulnerable too. You can't. It's just people want to see a bit of vulnerability in you as well, and no, people want to know that we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect on social media. You just try to show who you are, right? And it does take showing a little bit vulnerability. I know, Bev, you're so much better at that than I am, because you tend to like, okay, Deb, let's do a video. And I'm just like, well, just wait a minute. I got it.
I'm like, let's just go.
You just say, no, we're on now. Right, and that's where you're showing your vulnerability. It doesn't matter. Like I've seen you do videos when you're putting the NV on with no makeup on, or you're stuck in the rain, or it just doesn't matter.
Even the post about our friend that had just passed away, I was sad that day, and I did that post. I showed people about the relationships that we create in this industry. And, and while I was sad, there was still honoring what we get happening in this industry. So,
yeah. And exactly. So it all ties back to branding yourself and just allowing people to know more about who you are.
Yeah.
And they're going to feel closer to you and want to follow you.
Yeah. So on the branding yourself, Deb, can I tie into this a little bit as well too? In branding yourself, you want to be authentic, but you also want to stay away from the really controversial stuff. Okay, I have not posted anything about President Trump on my page at all. No political stuff at all. And you know what, even the animal ones that, you know, show all the abuse, I hide those posts because I don't want to see them. I'm not commenting on them. I'm not getting engaged in that conversation on them. And quite honestly, if anybody does the FML, and if you don't know what that is, you know what, just, they're not people I want to get engaged with, because that's not the type of person I even want to attract into my business. So they're not who I want to talk to. So if someone's using that type of language and they're always whining and complaining on Facebook, I hide their posts because it's not what I'm interested in. So be a bit discerning on which conversations you get involved in as well too. Okay.
Absolutely good point. And you know, I don't go on Facebook to read negativity.
No, not at all. No.
So you know, obviously we're all human and we all have stuff going on in our lives, but you know, I don't need to hear about, you know, how awful somebody feels that day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's not a therapy session.
No,
You know?
exactly. Yeah. And so like even my post today, it was like, you know what, I'm a wee bit tired today, but it was still about my beautiful flowers. You know, we had a very busy weekend. It was extremely successful, but I'm dragging butt today and I'm tired. Did I whine and complain about that? I spoke into it, but then I used what I use as my solution to help pick people up on that. So yeah, totally.
Exactly. So number 4 is they talked about what to post and how much to post, and this kind of just again ties into just what we were talking about. They say 3 to 7 things per day, and no negativity. No negativity at all. So some of the areas that you could post from, some of the areas in your life is family, videos that you see come across your feed. You can do a business post, but from a personal point of view. For example, you could say, I love the view from my office today, or I am so in love with this product because, not shoving anything down someone's throat, right? Or buy this product today, or you don't want to do any of that. It's always from your own personal view. And you know, who wouldn't want to have a office view of their beautiful backyard as they're sitting outside doing work with their laptop? You know, it's an attraction, you know. Again, that's what you're focused on. Your lifestyle, something to do with your lifestyle. Mine would include wine drinking.
That's a really hot topic. Like a lot of ladies relate to that. So it's great.
Or fitness. You know, I also love fitness and stuff. Something, it could be something that you're grateful for that day. You know, I really, a lot of my posts, I try to make them very uplifting, and, you know, try and steer people to focus on the, you know, more, I guess, personal development, you know, focusing on how grateful, what you're grateful for today, or, you know, all the good things in life. Sometimes it's a fun post, and we've had many from our dear friend Becky.
Zipper today.
I saw her post today about getting her shirt caught in her pants zipper. But that's our Becky. She does the fun posts, right?
Yeah.
Or pictures. People love pictures, right? And they're more inclined to look at your post if it has pictures, then if it just has writing, I would say. Hey, Beth?
Absolutely. In fact, I very seldom just put a picture post on, a written post on, because people tend to just scroll right by that. And as well too, it's the time of the year where there's a lot of celebrations going on. You know, there's graduations, there's birthdays, there's anniversaries, there's like a lot of things going on. And I will actually go through those posts. Number one, I'll make a comment, you know, congratulations, you guys. But then there'll be names in there of people that I haven't, you know, someone that you've met several years ago, and all of a sudden, oh, that's where Colette is. You know, messaged her right away. Hey, Colette, is that really you? You know, type of stuff. And again, so now I've got a brand new friend on Facebook. You know, added an old friend back on Facebook type of stuff. So those comments are really, really important. And yeah, Yeah, and posting often as well too is really a good thing, because especially if you've got a lot of friends, things fly by really, really fast. And I know I've run into people that, number one, recognize how busy I am, but then they're like, what are you doing these days? I'm not quite too sure, you know, type of stuff. So I know that I haven't posted that much about Jeunesse, that they know that Bev's doing Jeunesse. They're kind of curious and wondering. And personal stories as well too. Like I've created my own before and after pictures, and I don't know if you guys have seen the latest one that I've done too, but you know, my face before I went to do the Fashion Fest, and it was like 2.5 years difference of my face, no makeup to no makeup. And like honestly, at 60 and at 63, I look like 5 or 6 years younger than I did at 60 type of stuff. So those are very powerful. I didn't even talk about the name of the brand of the product that I'm using type of stuff, right? But again, it got a lot of engagement. And so if people are having issues with their skin, they know that they can reach out to me and talk to me about it type of stuff. So those personal testimonials are really, really important. And I have to say too, that in Jeunesse in particular, we have kind of, because we've been so worried about being compliant, okay, and not saying the wrong thing and all of that kind of stuff, that we've really gotten away from doing the personal testimonials. And I see them flying across my page all the time, and I know that some of them are like companies doing things, and I'm like, really, how can you get away with that? But seriously, we need to keep talking about our personal story using whichever product it is, whether it's the skincare, whether it's the foundation, whether it's Zen Project 8, whether it's Reserve, the AM, the PM, you need to find a way to talk about that. Just as like, oh my God, I felt a cold coming on, and you know, when I went and took my Reserve and I'm all good now, you know, type of stuff, right? Or, you know, doing a PFC recipe. What's a PFC? You know, so that gives you an opportunity to have a conversation with someone. And I very seldom even refer to NB. I'll just say my fabulous new spray-on foundation. I absolutely love it. And or even in the comments, people say, "Oh my God, Bev, you're looking beautiful," and I'm like, "Great! I attribute it to my skincare." Oh, and that brings me to another thing about playing team on Facebook as well too. Okay, so someone on your team has posted something, you know, and it's a great picture, a before and after picture of them. Oh my God, you look so amazing. Okay. And just really make those comments, because the more comments a post has, the more interaction it has as well too. So by playing team a little bit, and I know anytime Becky posts, anytime you post, Kathleen Redu posts, or anybody on the team makes a post as a before and after picture, I'm always sure to make a comment on that, because then they will comment on mine, and then that really helps expand our reach of who's seeing our products. And even if it's on your page, Deb, let's just say you've done a, you know, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how good my skin looks today. And I'm like, you're looking fabulous, you know, or that picture, the 10-year picture, right? It's just affirming and giving more credibility to what you're saying about the product type of stuff. So we're kind of, you know, making confirmation type of stuff, and that's all very, very helpful.
Yeah, really edifying each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
with what we're doing, right, and when edifying the products at the same time.
Yeah.
And then the last point, we kind of touched on it earlier, was shares and likes, and of course, shares, likes, but also comments are so much more powerful, and they just build consistency. You know, when you do make a comment, and you do like someone's post, or you do share someone's post, it makes them feel like they're important, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love it when I put a post on and I've got 3 likes and hearts and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, you know, it's validating. And let's face it, in today's society, very few people get that pat on the back or the like. And even a like is fabulous, but the written word is even so much more powerful.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it does. It just makes that person feel like you care. And so, you know, it's amazing what this whole world of social media is about. And you know, the thing is it's also constantly changing. But just continue to learn and build your network more and more each time through these avenues, and you'll find that it gets easier and easier to find those 10 new people per day and add them to your friends list, or and don't be afraid to try other avenues of social media. Obviously, Facebook is the one that I'm most familiar with, and Bev, I think you are too.
Yeah.
But I know, I have two sons, and they're kind of the millennial age. Well, they're in their 20s, but they seem to be using a lot of the Instagram and Snapchat too. So that's really, really growing as well. It's kind of not, it's a bit more limited. We don't have as much, that we can work with those, but that doesn't mean that we can't still expose ourselves in those avenues as well. And again, it comes down to having people want to see what you're doing. What are you attracting that is interesting and fun, and it's a great opportunity to just kind of show the best you in this avenue. If just a little bit about attraction marketing, if you're not really familiar with that, I know I didn't get familiar with attraction marketing and probably until I was with Jeunesse. Maybe mostly because I was with the party plan company before, and we marketed our products through parties, so I wasn't as involved in the online side of things. So attraction marketing was something quite new that came to me when I joined Jeunesse, and really what it is, it's just basically a set of strategies that entrepreneurs use to provide self-employment business opportunities, such as such as what we're doing in home-based sales, to other entrepreneurs. Okay, so branding is the art of creating something recognizable and for your company or a group of products. So, if, for instance, if you are going to put together a business page, and you want, first and foremost, one of the reasons you're going to do that is for the attraction marketing purposes. So what you would want on there is, your history in the industry, your accomplishments in the industry. Why would somebody want to be aligned with you as opposed to someone else? So you kind of want to really toot your horn on your own business page, and photo wise, it would be great if you could have photos of you doing speaking engagements, or sitting down one-on-one with a potential customer, or doing training with your team. So all those things validate who you are and how well you've done in this industry. And we also have that old saying, you fake it till you make it. So even if you're not the top performer yet in this profession, act and do as if you are, right?
Yes, bring it into being, that's for sure.
Yeah. And of course, you do, so aligning your message, of course, is in a very authentic way is important, but also belief in your products is huge. And so you're able to, really give that confidence to people that your products inside out, and that you could answer any type of question, and just continue, communicating and connecting in a consistent manner. You're going to build your business page business page, of course, is different than your personal page on Facebook. You're going to build it not through friends, but through connections, right? More so connections and likes and so forth, and people start following you on your business page. So the last thing you want to do is go through all this effort of putting together and of who you are and what you stand for and why choose you type thing, and then not put a post on there for like 2 months. Right?
Yep, exactly.
And I don't know, Bev, if you want to add to, like, how often would you go onto your business page?
I try to go at least every couple of days, and lots of times I'll even land up sharing things like when Becky was in India, I posted on my Facebook page, on my business, Looking and Living Years Younger with Bev Oliwa a lot, from because I'm, totally trying to attract that, some followers from the India market. And I'd share those posts, or, we get the great videos. I really try to make those more lifestyle posts and stuff. And even if I'm not doing the lifestyle, I'm sharing the Jeunesse lifestyle posts and the Jeunesse, the fact that Becky's in India, the fact that Kathleen Degelman's in has just been in wherever it was.
Bora Bora.
Bora Bora, I know. Type of stuff. So, so those are things that are all possible, and they speak to people. And like I say, even though I wasn't on that trip, there's no reason why I can't share it. And Jeunesse Global always has some great material for us to share. And if you're sharing from there, it's compliant as well too. So
yeah, that's a great tip. Yeah, I definitely watch Jeunesse Global's page a lot every day as well, to see what I can share. And I guess the bottom line is that it's marketing your integrity. Really, it's people follow people who know where they're going.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really the gist of it. And so if you can manage to show people that you have that confidence in your brand, you have that confidence with aligning with this company, and there's no question that this is your home, and this is what you will be involved with for a very long time. People want to get involved with those types of people. Like, I think, what was Bev, when we were in our other company, and our president would always say, people follow people. I think it's the same saying, is people follow people who know where they're going, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And that reminds me of another post as well too, because I know, many of us have become personal consumers, become personal consultants for other companies. And then one day you're advertising for this company, and then you're advertising for Jeunesse, and then you're advertising for that. People get so confused, type of stuff. And while you may make some residual income from the sale of promoting that other product, if you're trying to attract a leader in the company, a leader to come and help you build with you, that's not going to happen if you're in this pot and that pot and that pot. You need to show that this is who you are, this is what you're doing, and that you're focused. You're absolutely focused. And I think that that's a really important point that has really gotten lost on the social media messaging these days.
Very, very good point. So I just wanted to, end with Bev. Maybe could you share? We have a fantastic NB promotion right now in Canada, and I know we have members on our team that are throughout the world, and I'm sure this product's going to come to you very soon as well. But this can, we can talk about any type of promotion. There's promotions going on all over the globe in Jeunesse. But if we want to just touch on the NB product promotion, Bev, I think it's running for the next 5 weeks still.
Yeah. I know I've been in conversation with Stephen, because I hadn't gotten the email from corporate on that at all. And I was messaging him to find out when the deadline for this promotion was. And I know personally I was very hesitant to market it, because we've had so many shipping issues into the Canadian market. So I'm like I said to Stephen, I haven't even been promoting this, because I'm worried about how long it's taking people to get the product. And so I was messaging with them, and that Be the NB promotion is in Canada and in the United States right till the end of July, which is really awesome. And the other thing is which I did the happy dance. I don't know if you noticed it, Deb, or not, but the NB is now shipping from the Calgary office. So yes, hallelujah. So basically now you can feel really, number one, I would highly recommend, if you have not ordered your sample set yet, that package that's on there is less than wholesale pricing. Quite honestly, it's less than wholesale pricing. So I would order it. It's going to come very quickly, and it's going to give you a chance to try it. What I am noticing about the NB in particular is it's very much an experiential product. People need to try it. You can talk to it all you want. People are watching videos all they want, but it's not until feel you've had a chance to try it, that people are like, OMG, I am loving it. I was just at an event this last weekend that had makeup artists, and I had a chance to put it on a makeup artist, and she's like, in all my years, I've never felt anything so light, because we put it on her face, and she was an N9, so she was a very dark color, and it didn't have the orange undertones that they normally have, you know, for the dark skinned people. And so number one, she loved the color match, she loved how good it felt, and she said, I am a fussy with the letter B word behind it type of stuff. So I know I've got a meeting happening with her on Friday. So with that promotion that we've got on, I'm super excited about it. And the thing is, anybody who's ever spoken to us about Instantly Ageless are absolute prime candidates to have a quick email, text message, personal message, you know, and I like to do a combination of all of it and kind of honor everybody and reach out to them in whichever way. If they've contacted me through email, I'm certainly going to be sending out an email now with a link about the NB, and I think it's 117 and 151 Canadian, and that's less than wholesale pricing. So you know, even though if your account is an active distributor, I would order it under that promotion, because it's better than wholesale pricing. So super excited about this, and my plan is to send out a lot of emails between now and the end of July.
Yeah, it's a great product to focus on right now for promoting right till the end of July, and like you said, it's very experiential type product, and I haven't, you know, Beth, you and I, well, you've done a little bit more than me, but I haven't met one person that does not like it once they try it on their face.
Exactly. So, yeah.
It's just a matter of getting the word out there, and the pricing is, like you say, it's unbelievable. So
yeah,
great thing to focus on this week. So anyway, thank you, Bev, for joining me tonight, and I'm sure we'll have another Bev and Deb show down the road.
It's been a while.
Yeah. But I wish everyone great success this week. You know, keep focusing on the right things, and you know, everything comes to fruition in this business as long as you keep putting that one foot in front of the other, and continue to share our products and what we have in terms of a business opportunity. Because to be honest with you, even $100 or $200 or $500 can make a world of difference to someone. You know, and so that's our changing lives part of our business, which is what's so dear to my heart. So anyway, have a fabulous week. Thanks, Bev, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Thanks for having me, Deb. Bye.
Bye-bye.